Welcome to SPADE Wrestling Podcast. This is the first podcast I've ever done, and we're got a lot of stuff to talk about, including Vince McMahon. What is he doing in WWE, and what his role is in creative? And other than that, we talk about what's going to happen with the company and stuff, and how that's going up, and everything else about WrestleMania and Cody and Roman, the controversial decision that Paul Levesque made. Let's first talk about, in my opinion, the Vince McMahon thing. In my opinion, it's shocking again. Really shocking that UFC bought out with WWE. They merged. Endeavor bought them. It's like it's finally happened. We've been hearing this. Like Comcast gonna buy them. Like Fox was gonna buy them because the USA Network and Fox, the top supporters, because they put their, you can say, they give them the money, they give them the builds, so it made sense for them to buy them out. But it was UFC. It was actually Endeavor, but UFC merged with them, and that's really interesting. And again, Mr. McMahon, Vince was asked about his role in WWE Creative and was like, yes or no. But again, like, what do you mean by yes or no? Because I think he said something like the same thing with Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman. So people are kind of confused, in my opinion. When you say yes or no, you don't make sense that you're in creative or not. In my opinion, it does not need to be creative. Like, Paul Levesque is doing an amazing job. I think you should know about that. He said yes and no. What he meant by is like he's involved in the big creative decisions, not the smaller ones. Which means Paul Levesque is pretty much in charge. Other than that, you have to talk about. I think there's a lot of other things to talk about. I forgot one more thing to bring up. Yeah, we have to talk about Cody and Roman, that decision. Title of the press conference. Roman he was spitting facts about what he does. He was shooting the shit. He was saying that I do this and it's not real. And fans don't really think it's real, but it is real. What he does, I believe that. And in my opinion about the Cody situation here, guys, is that Triple H, didn't really knew how to book and didn't know what to do for a long ass time, and he ended up booking that match because it made sense, in my opinion, in a way what he wants to say in a story of like a long-term storytelling, and that's what he goes with. That's what we know him from at the NXT days. Anybody who's an NXT fan knows about this, that Paul Levesque is all about the long-term booking. Vince is all about just shuffling in the thing and making a clusterfuck out of it. So I believe that Paul Levesque can do a really great job at his booking. But again, he made a very controversial decision. In my opinion, Cody is not to beat Roman anymore. It is not going to be that big of a deal. And it is Jey Uso. But the way Cody was telling us, like, finish the story. And he didn't end up finishing the story. But again, Cody Rhodes, he can recover from it. He's a big star. He's a big star for sure. And he doubts Solo. So in storyline wise, it does make sense. But again, it's a confusing decision. Like, why would you do that? You build him up and you just ended up doing that finish. And I was stunned, and the crowd was stunned. And I was looking at our stream, I was like, guys, what the hell? I'll tell you about my stream later on, where I stream. Obviously I stream on Twitch, but I'll tell you later on. Anyways, so I was like, holy shit. This, we just saw this nonsense. I was just sitting there, I was like, oh my god, the fans are gonna boo. I'm gonna go to YouTube and I'm gonna see all the media, I'm gonna see all the people questioning this decision. I saw Dini Salcedo, I saw Dave Meltzer, I saw Brian Alvarez, I saw so many people questioning what was this booking decision, because it didn't make sense. he's hotter than ever. He proved that he can be as much hotter as Sami Zayn. And for Paul Levesque to just right away, say no, it's not your time yet. Obviously, Cody agreed to it. He understands the long-term storytelling. But probably a lot of people will say AEW in the chat or AEW in my comment section. He's not going to AEW. He is not. He will win the championship. But again, he's not. I think in Levesque's eyes, story's not over yet. The story needs to finish. In my opinion, WrestleMania 40 is like when you shit the bed. You shit the bed. You do not do WrestleMania 40. You do not. I don't care who you are. Why did you take off the tag team championships off the Usos in the first place? You don't do WrestleMania 40. That Roman saying, I was like, really, Roman? I don't think that's going to be a good idea. If you just be on the top of the mountain at WrestleMania 40 and what are we going to do from that? The Rock is going to come. It's going to beat you for the championship. It will make no booking sense in my opinion. In my opinion, if they want to end something, they had to end it at SummerSlam. That's it. Quick wrap, end it at SummerSlam. It needs to start with a bloodline, it needs to end with a bloodline. It does not need to go to WrestleMania. Jey Uso does not need to win the Royal Rumble. It can be Sami Zayn who wins the Royal Rumble. And we can see Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso in the main event of WrestleMania. Who knows? That's just my idea. I think they can still do that. Imagine Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso. Imagine that match at WrestleMania 40. The storytelling they're going to tell. And Sami Zayn beating Jey Uso, becoming champion. That would be personal. That would be a great storyline. And I would fall in for that. But Roman should not be champion by WrestleMania 40. What he was saying, I don't think that's a good decision that Paul Levesque should listen to Roman. He's on a different level, but how long can you be on a different level? A lot of people are leaving part. My problem was with Roman Reigns' reigns. I criticized this booking to this day. Brock Lesnar's Roman Reigns shipped me off of WWE. I was done with it. I was like, I'm gonna watch AEW because I feel like they have a better product. And I'm going to watch other stuff. I'm not just going to do WWE anymore because I don't want to watch WWE. Because they just were giving you Brock versus Roman and I was like, I'm sick of it. It's the end of the booking. At that time John Cena returned. And I still understand I watched Roman versus Matt Riddle. Not the full match. I watched highlights. Because I was so angry for what they did, because I was like, after WrestleMania 38 they were gonna just move it from Roman and Brock, so it just killed them. Again, Sami Zayn's storyline is the reason I came back to WWE. The reason I came back to WWE, I was in with AEW, but again CM Punk threw me off, and that made me like, oh no, I fell off when CM Punk stuff happened. I completely fell off of wrestling. I was like, oh boy. And that's again another controversial topic I will talk about on our next podcast. That'll be the AEW stuff to talk about. But this is Triple H he's booked himself into a corner. WWE has booked himself into the corner. And I think Triple H can do a better job than Vince would ever do. And I'm really excited for what's going to happen now. Either he's going to shit the bed or he's going to shoot for the hip and get that moment from the crowd and get a new story with a new champion in Jey Uso. Because it tells that they're doing this, because you don't have Cody beat him again. You don't have Cody beat him. Why did you have Cody beat him? You cannot beat him again because it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. Cody beating Roman will be a good moment again, but this time it's going to be predictable. How can you level up the unpredictability in this? And that's what's interesting about Paul Levesque's booking, that he is a long-term storytelling, and he caught you on that little point of the edge of your seat. He just caught you right there. He just caught you in that, and he knows you're gonna mark out, and that's what we did. We marked out. WWE makes us look like fucking marks most of the times, especially with Vince McMahon. We are a bunch of marks with Daniel Bryan being replaced by Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 31, and other than that, there were other decisions. Sami Zayn definitely needs his moment again, in my opinion. If you keep on with that run, Cody will get his moment once again. Cody can become champion again, in my opinion. You can introduce a new championship and Cody can win that. I don't know. You can still do a lot of things. This is an interesting time to talk about, guys. And WWE having a new name, that's also a real interesting take on now what's going to happen. Okay? I think that's it for the podcast. I think that was a cool podcast. This is my first podcast ever. And you're going to see a lot of more podcasts coming through. I'll see y'all later.